Well, Chooks.
Yeah, the moment has arrived for the introduction that she was nipping a little.
Chukudi.
How are you, Demo?
You can't keep
I'm doing
even a
great, and
small
you?
secret.
Who told you that?
Eh?
Do you know how
His
much
age.
do you know how many billions I have in my bank? How could you say that I don't keep secrets?
Don't reveal it. Don't reveal it now. Don't.
Claire, how
Yes.
are you?
Well, today, Demola is taking us back in history.
Okay.
I only hope I can remember my history.
You could,
You
whether
know,
you could catch up with
whether
us.
I could catch up, yes, with history.
You could manage. You're in the intermediate category. The more. Old school remains the best school. Claire, the headlines.
I have New Telegraph for you. New Telegraph, is leading with the issues in Rivers State. Rivers crisis, it captions it. Fubara must obey court judgments on LG election. And that's coming from the Minister of the FCT, Wiki. The details of that story you can read up on pages 25 and 28. And of course, there are other stories trending there. Let's quickly see the picture story there. And that's because of the significance of the boat mishap, which of course continues to happen in some parts of our country. And here we see the Nigerian MD, Nigeria Inland Waterways Authority, NIWA, Bola Oyebanji, in Gbadebo, Kwara State, paying a condolence visit. And Jakpa menace, increase tertiary institutions budget in 2025 to stem brain drain. Senate tells federal government Nigerians should put country over financial gain. Akpabio. And FG approves Dangote refinery as sole supplier of jet fuel to Nigeria's airline operators. Details of that you can find on page 8. Supreme Court to hear governors so challenging EFCC's legality. October the 22nd is on page 4, and that story is trending on the right-hand column, which is to your left. And government should understand its policies are causing Nigeria's pain. That's Adebayo. We've received 305,300 human rights violation complaints. NHRC, Human Rights Commission, it's there. Lagos Calabar Highway will be ready by May 2025. And this from the Minister of Works, Sumahi. It's on page 28. And there are other stories trending. Suffering caused by Benin-Asaba highway failure worries Delta government. And Niago, I guess that's the Commissioner for Works there speaking. And Labour Party will appeal judgment on Abure, that's Usman. Pre-election mission, Jonathan, former president, leads West African elders to Ghana, meets candidates and others. And FDIs trending just on, above the nameplate. FDIs, Nigeria records $2.60 billion capital importation in second quarter of 2024, but loses $83 billion to crude export. All right, that's the outlook of the New Telegraph paper this morning. Ademola has Daily Trust.
Okay, before the Daily Trust, I have the People's Daily newspaper with me as well. And I think I'll start with the story just below the nameplate. Federal government attract $50 billion investment in oil sector, says Petroleum State Minister. Supreme Court hears 16 state suits against EFCC Establishment Act of October 2022. The screening committee uncovers over 3,850 fake political appointees on Niger State payroll. That's all about that People's Daily newspaper. Then I move on to the Daily Trust newspaper. Just below the nameplate of Daily Trust newspaper, we have Supreme Court to hear 16 state suit against the FCC. Then fresh order for LG autonomy as Soludo introduces bill for funds deduction. Details of that story can be found on page 13. Boko Haram kills 2 soldiers. Village head, others in Borno ambush. Details on page 4. Cholera-related deaths rise as Lagos, Jigawa, Kano lead in casualties. Over 10,837 suspected cases recorded nationwide in 9 months. 359 die in 21 states. NCDC blames rainfall, open defecation as per preferred solution. So we can get the details on page 4 of the Daily Trust. Bandit kill abducted Kebbi district head. Operatives rescue 8. Paul Biya in good health. Cameroon government says, the details on page 6. We are yet to lift oil from Dangote refinery. Ipman. Details of that story can be found on page 33. 5 missing, 20 rescued in Lagos boat collision. Details on page 5. Chooks.
The press can't do reconstructive surgery on a patient that is unwilling. But concerning the Rivers crisis, I'm just looking at the headlines. Fubara is fuming. He is vowing that all those behind arson in Rivers must account for their atrocities. The headline attributed to Wike is Fubara must obey court order on LG elections. So sometimes you don't know whether it's the press fanning the embers. Why would Wike's advisors not ask him to, first of all, talk about the arson in Rivers, to hear whether he will sound pacifist too, whether he would say something like, that is to be condemned. Then as a second layer...
Actually, he said that yesterday during his interview on one of the televisions.
I saw where he was blaming the thing
on
the government side there.
I listened to the interview actually, and his emphasis was actually that the governor must obey court orders.
So that is the message, his main message.
Yes.
Okay, listen to what he said. Listen to what he said. First of all, speaking on Channel's television program, Wike condemned the violence and destruction of properties in the state following the conduct of local government elections. And then the other paragraph, sorry, Chukwu, he said, no decent person that believes in peace and stability of any nation would say that he wants to support violence, destruction, and that he doesn't want people to live in harmony.
Kindly stop. So, I blame the editor. It's his choice. You see, editorial discretion is something you can't fight. So, if I did the interview, why would I not play up that Wike says the destruction there should be condemned before I now start talking about is the editor's
No, because he emphasized more on the governor, you know.
I know.
You know that kind of thing.
You see, the devil is in what? The details.
But you know
you understand?
But you know
he
that
the discretion of the editor to arrange his headlines.
But you know exactly the editorial judgment, editorial preference.
Yes, that is
what will attract readership more and all that. You see, this thing about journalism.
But you know, sometimes again, like he's saying, yes, we must also put the country into consideration.
That's it.
We must do that. We must integrate that in our decisions, in our preferences.
Actually, I'm not talking against Wike or talking against Fubara. I'm talking about how we too can be part of helping democracy. You understand?
That's what they call responsive journalism.
Exactly. Yes. It's very important we discuss these things.
Yes.
Because I hate this scenario, this suggestion that journalists are infallible. They are not. Some of them are card-carrying members of political parties, and they are on the editorial desk.
Can you prove it?
Can you hear a journalist talking?
I'm asking you a question because that's an allegation.
It's okay.
You know, I think
no problem.
The issue.
Let's not get involved in a partisan way.
Yes, the issue.
That's the
issue in River State needs
all
parties concerned, all peace-loving people, because you know this cliche that they say, you know, when two big elephants fight, it is usually the grass that suffers. You know, keeps resonating. It keeps you on. So when you fight, when two people are fighting, big men are fighting, it's usually the people who suffer.
No.
Now, the government infrastructure, you understand, it's been destroyed. It is the people's taxpayers' money that will be used to reconstruct.
I like where we're going. We can't
Yes.
keep on chastising politicians. Again,
Yes.
I take it to the press. What you play up in reportage matters a lot to social engineering. Maybe it is time for us to tell Rivers people that you are suffering because you allow politicians that might not be showing you enough consideration to hold sway. A police commissioner told me in Lagos when I was a young reporter, a society gets the kind of police force it deserves. You see, look, journalism has responsibilities. There are times you need to turn to the people. Who created the Yahoo Boys? Chukudi goes to the village. He's only able to give 5,000 naira to one old mama there. A Yahoo Boy comes, gives 100,000 naira to the old lady, and he gets a chieftaincy after about 2 months. Chukudi is a non-entity. The mirror has to be turned on society if we are to move forward in this country. Let's stop chasing who done it. Only looking in the. I was always quarreling with journalists in the newsroom anyway.
And again, we must also look at our legal system, because the root of, if you didn't have two judgments from Abuja and from here, we probably would not be here, because Mr. Wike is saying obey the court's judgment. Which of the court's judgment?
Claire, may God bless you in journalism.
May God bless you too as we wrap up.
Quickly, as we wrap up, cholera-related deaths rise as Lagos, Jigawa, Kano. You can see that the places where it's happening are the concentration in terms of population. So please, let's be more careful in terms of hygienic handling of affairs. The floods have no health matters, because dirty water is actually what causes cholera more than any other thing. You understand?
Just before we go, please, this is from NIWA. It's not just paying condolence visits. We need more action. We need regulation. We need NIWA to, back and bite by regulating, both drivers.
Always stretch the acronym.
Yes.
So that
NIWA, Nigerian Inland Waterways Authority.
Thank you. So they're talking about maritime people.
Maritime, yes. Both mishaps and all that. It's not when they happen.
Yes, just like we had in Lagos.
Yes.
Anyway, we have to just close this chapter. Yes. The director is signaling. So we'll take a break now. Good Morning Nigeria continues. Stay with us.